You all said it, didn't you? I'll do. I'm going to do a little vlog. My last 2 days in the prison service. Next week, I'll tell you about my time on the sick, procedures. I'm going to be talking about that because I'm going to talk quite openly about my mental health. Yeah, so if you watch this, bear in mind the other one's coming, you want to know anything about mental health, my mental health, ask any questions, I will answer anything. Yeah. That 11 months on the sick, that journey includes 5 months of visiting a psychologist, lovely lass. Did it help me? I don't know. I don't know what it would have been like if I hadn't have done it. Very difficult time, with more difficult times to come. So my last 2 shifts, September 2/15, 4th. I didn't know at the time these were my last 2 shifts. The 4th, I remember 10 o'clock in the morning, I was on A wing. That was the induction wing, I was the cleaning officer. Usual thing on that wing, bear in mind that's the induction wing, where all the new prisoners come, so every day you're getting new prisoners on, then some will move off once they've had their induction, so it's an endless cycle, prisoners on, prisoners off. What do I need? I'm trying to get the wing clean. I've been on there 3 weeks. It is looking cleaner, got some decent cleaners. Proper rough arse set they were. You know, however, some good lads. One was a taxi driver, a London taxi driver. I'll tell his story. Really nice fella, first time in prison. That's a good one, that. So we struggled all the time on that wing. That's the induction wing. Yeah, we struggled to get bedding, towels, basics there, guys. Bedding and towels to give lads coming on the wing. I had to go that week with our #1 governor. She weren't a bad lass. She'd been at other nicks. She had a good reputation. She inherited Strangeways at a very difficult time. We'd had workforce modernisation, benchmarking. We were on his arse for staff. You know, morale was pretty low. But I had had a bit of a ding-dong with her about not being able to provide people with the basics. The PO, let's call him PO Futch, who'd come onto the wing with her, afterwards said, I don't appreciate you, you know, challenging the governor and bringing up topics like that. I told Futch to futch off, because he was a dick anyway. So it's 10 o'clock. Have a wander over to D wing. So I went on to D wing. Up onto the 2s, that's where the office is. I asked whether I could have some cleaning products. I was pointed to the cleaning officer, who was stood toe to toe, as it were, with a cleaner we'd sacked off A wing. The reason we'd sacked him, he come onto the wing very polite, you know, first time in prison. After about 2 weeks, he was running his mouth, you know, over familiar with staff. He seemed to think, although still at that time on the wings, you know, music was kept down, that he could play his music as loud as he wanted. Anyway, he'd been dispensed with and moved on, so he's on D wing and they've employed him as a cleaner. So the cleaning officer is having a bit of a toe-to-toe. There's an ex-squaddy there who I know, both lads I work with on K wing, so just in a supporting role, you know. I went like that in his face. I'm stood back watching what's going to develop. It's obvious to me there's only one way this is going. This lad's been told to go back to his cell. He's losing his job. He's not having it. It's going to be a restraint, you can tell. You just know, when you've been in the job a while, you know that things aren't going to go right. Ended up in a restraint. The officer went to put his hand on his shoulder. Yeah, bam, turned round, pretty sharpish. Caught him in the face with his hand. It weren't a punch, you know, it was a shrug. Yeah, we've all done it. You're pissed off with someone puts their hand on you, fuck off, get off. Anyway, caught him in the face, turned round, bam. We're sort of wrestling with him. You know, it's on a landing, there's plenty of cameras this, we're trying to restrain him. He was very stocky lad, gym head, way younger than us. You know, I'm early 50s. Both of them a bit younger than me, but not a lot. Yeah, this lad maybe 24, super powerful, good muscularity, struggling. Anyway, it was quite a violent restraint, you know, and you have to understand in these situations, we're not punching him now when I'm talking about it's game on. We're trying to get control of him. She's obviously resisting quite violently. Anyway, I bent down, not taut, took one of his legs, boom, and we took him to the deck. On the way to the deck, my left shoulder, I'm laughing, I can still remember it quite vividly, the feeling, and maybe there was a noise, maybe there weren't. In my head there was a noise. Got a cooked chicken, yeah, cold. Get hold of drumstick, twist it, that's what it felt like. I was in bother, I knew straight away. Got him on the floor, got him in locks. What do I mean by that? Me and the squaddy on each arm. We've got an arm each. Yeah, I'm on the left arm, squaddy's on the right arm. The other lad, he's protecting his head, controlling the head. Yeah, that's what you're taught to do. One on each arm. Yeah, you're working individually, separately, to put locks on. The other guy's protecting his head. So we've got him on the floor, he's quite vocal. The lad, the cleaning officer, has lost the plot. I'll tell you about this lad. He'd been in an office with me on A wing. He come on to A wing maybe the week before. I could see he weren't in a good place. Office on the end of the wing, come in, sit down, what's the matter? Boom, floods of tears. I'm telling you this, not to embarrass the lad, just to explain where he was. He was in a similar place to me, only I didn't know that at the time. So he burst into tears. He looked really, really stressed. Asked him when he was on any medication. He was on sertraline again. Yeah, popular one. He was on the maximum dose. He'd been on it 6 months. He wasn't coping with the job. You know, it was obvious that. He was quite a big lad as well. Not as tall as me, carrying more weight than me around the middle. I would imagine not only was his mental health not good, his physical health would not be good either. He's what I would call in a situational mental health, physical health type situation. He's in the prison service, he's not enjoying it, he's stressed. He's on an SSRI, antidepressant. His woes are situational, it's with that job. So initially the medication might help him, but you know, while he's in that job, he's going to be stressed, mental, physical. So that's a little bit about him. Let's go back to D-Wing. 2 POs turned up. PO Futch and my ex-PO from K-Wing, who I didn't get on with, but we now have a relationship. You know, he got over that, I got over it straight away. He'd got over that and we spoke and we got on quite well. There was also an SO there, Kev, who is a good lad. I had a lot of time for him. really good lad, cared about people. As a manager, that's what you need to do. So the cleaning officer, who's on sertraline and been crying in the office talking to me a week before, he's lost it, this lad. He really has. So I looked at PO, not Fudge, I had nothing to do with him. Looked at the other PO, get him off. What I meant was remove him from that situation for his good and the prisoners, because he's losing it. He's shouting at the prisoner's shouting at him. You know, it's kicked in red mist, operational stress, whatever you want to call it. He's lost it. Yeah, and that's a dangerous thing to do. So I want him, I'm calm, even though my fucking shoulder's dangling, I want him off. The PO looks at me and went, it'll do him good. He's had some conflict with this lad that we're restraining over a couple of weeks. Yeah. So the PO, whose wing it was, he's saying it'll do him good. It was doing him no good. He looked like he was going to have a fucking heart attack. His eyes were bulging, sweaty, clammy, not good. So I again says, get him off. You know, the old gritted teeth. RC Yorkshire get. No, he's not having it. Okay, so we manages to get the lad to his feet. I'm talking to him. The other guy's shouting at him, he's not listening. I'm saying, listen, it's sorted now, calm yourself down, go to the seg. So we took him to the seg, the cleaning officer, all the way there, bam, bam, bam. They both at it again, started up. We ended up dropping this lad twice. What do I mean by that? In the prison service, they don't like that. Governors don't like it, managers don't like it. We ended up dropping him twice. It meant we took him to the floor. Yeah? That is what it means. We took him to the floor, non-compliant, started kicking out with his legs. Tried to de-escalate again, but the cleaning officer's lost it. I've already told you that. Should have been out of there. Back on his feet. That happened twice, at least. We get him in the segregation unit, yeah? When you take someone to the segregation unit, you are met, the gates will be open when you get there, you're met by the segregation staff. Senior officer usually will stand in front of the prisoner. You're in the seg now, we're taking over, we're going to take you in this cell, we're going to strip search you, that's the procedure, he's coming onto the seg, put you in a cell, okay? So they have that little chat, the seg staff take over from us, you know, take each arm, yeah? Move down the landing into a cell to strip search him. 2 POs, Futch and the D-Wing PO stood talking, everyone's having a little chat, a little laugh, you know, with the seg staff and that. There's the squaddy and me and the cleaning officer off D-Wing, yeah? So I've already told you, I know I'm done. I've hurt myself. The squaddy's white. I says, you alright, mate? So I've hurt my back. Holding his back, and I mean he was white. Casper, you know, the ghost, that's what he looked like. Cleaning officer, fucking stressed the fuck, sweating, clammy. I thought he was going to have a heart. I said to him, you need to go home, you. Who's looking at us? Who's that duty of care? We got 2 POs there. Nobody said anything. We stood right outside the seg office. Yeah. So I'm looking at them. I'm looking at these two. All 3 of us are not in a good place. Physical injury. Squaddy's physical injury. The other lad. Yeah. Nobody. As a manager, I've already told you. Yeah. You need to look after your staff. Yeah. We dealt with the incident. Them 2 POs have a duty of care to us, as well as the prisoner. Nothing, not a word. I come away from there very angry, really angry. You know, that summed up where the prison service was at that time, certainly at Strangeways, and I know it to be true elsewhere, yeah? So I finished my shift, I went home, sleepless night, got up, 5th of September 2015, went to work. I was on A-Wing. This was my last shift before annual leave, 2 weeks annual leave. I went into work. I know I'd been on A-Wing, I wasn't on overtime. I was struggling, tired, pissed off still from what happened the day before. Happens a lot, that. You know, you carry situations on, sometimes for weeks. Went down to the healthcare at dinner, saw a nurse who I got on with. She says, "What are you doing down here? We don't see you down here." So I've come some tablets, like some painkillers. She says, "What have you done? You don't look good." So she had a look at my shoulder, got hold of my hand, tried to lift. I couldn't lift my shoulder, couldn't move it. She says, "When did you do this?" As yesterday, I explained. She says, "You need to go home." I said, "Can I just..." She says, No. You need to go home. Have you put this in the accident book?" So this is a thinking man's nurse, yeah? No, I hadn't. You know, it goes out your head, you forget about this. Prison is like everywhere else. Every company, you know, whether it be a solicitor's or whatever, should have an accident book for good reason. Anyway, I'm left-handed, couldn't really write, in a lot of pain. She wrote it in. She then phoned the Oscar 1, that's the shift manager, and said, "Got Mr. Samworth here, I'm sending him home." I could hear him on the other end of the phone. You know when you hold the phone away from your ear and you get the comedy cartoon voice coming out, boom, boom, boom. "You can't send him home, we're short staffed." She said, "He's not good, he's hurt his shoulder, I'm sending him home." Put the phone down. Bam, that's me done. Last shift in the prison service. Yeah. It will be a long time before I was right after that. I'm going to leave it there for now. I've got to go out. Got a busy day today. Plenty of interviews coming up. Some really good interviews coming up. Very varied. Some victims of crime. Some very unusual cases. So thanks for watching, guys. I hadn't said this for a while. I appreciate everyone's support. I appreciate all the messages. Bless all you people who are suffering with mental health. I hope this year, once things get back to normal, you know, it sort of eases people's pain and woes. Quick shout out. I helped a young lad, 17, Ryan, the other week with a project. He wanted some pictures of myself down round Strangeways. So I went and met him. He took some pictures, very good pictures. He's 17, this lad. And the reason I'm telling you about this lad, he follows the channel, you know, he is a bit of a free spirit. You know, he's campaigned for a few things and stuff like that. He loves everything about it, and this lad is hoping to become a barrister. So this lad might be one of those people who goes into that job with his eyes open and makes a difference. So shout out to Ryan, lovely to meet you. Lee'll put the links in the description. I will tell you about my mental health journey. Probably get that posted Monday, guys. So any questions that you want to know, anything at all, as personal as you want, I'm happy to tell you about them, yeah. Shitty weekend. Try and look after yourself, guys. I'll get out with Stephen tomorrow. And I've got a comedy vlog. I spoke to a young lady the other day. She said, "Have you got any funny stories?" I have. So you know what? Let's put some of them out there. Okay. Thanks for coming. I'll see you there.